Let me check my internet connection. Yes, I'm on. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I can see that nobody has joined me yet, but I hope some people will come here. And I hope that what I do right now will be useful for anyone. So if it's not useful, just let me know and I will go and just go to my kitchen and be nervous over there myself. Hi, I can see two people. Who are you guys? Well, let me present myself. My name is Olena. I'm a tour guide right now in Kiev and in Chernobyl, and I'm a YouTuber. So I have this YouTube channel, What is Ukraine, and its main aim was to tell the world about Ukraine as a tourist destination. That was what I wanted to do on this YouTube channel. But right now the events are so, unusual that I need to cover something else apart from tourism in Ukraine. I'm really happy to see you guys. Hello, John. Hello, Dwight. Igor. Tiderian. Hi. You are not sleeping as well, I can see. Yeah, we're not sleeping. Huseifa. Hello. Hi, everyone. So basically what I'm going to do right now, I will be just translating into English the news that I see on the Ukrainian news agencies, because I know that you have this a big problem over there, that translation takes some time and not all the news are translated. And right now the events, I feel like they will be developing very fast. So I feel that you will need some urgent updates. Right now, I'm at home in Kiev, in the capital of Ukraine. Yes, so this is where I am. This is my computer here. Okay, there is my cat. I will try to show it to you. Sleeping. No, this is the vacuum cleaner. How to show it to you? Yeah. Hello, Moisa. He's very nervous. He's very nervous, like a lot. My 3 children are sleeping in there in the bedroom. I will not go inside over there because otherwise I will wake them up. Maybe Darina will wake up and she will join me soon. We'll see. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have today? The news are that the president of our neighboring country of Russia, he has recognized the independence also of the so-called separatists, of the so-called republics, Lugansk and Donetsk republics. And that means like a confrontation, escalation, another step of Russia towards this escalation of the conflict. This happened in the evening, and the latest news that I see right now are quite disturbing. It says that in Donetsk, we have a big column of the armored vehicles that are moving through the city center towards the border of, between these so-called republics and the borders of the territory that is controlled by Ukrainian forces. This is not confirmed information. Yes, so the source of this information is some media, and maybe it is not really happening at all. Yes, so keep calm. We have this in the news, but the news is not checked. So some people who are witnesses. How do you change the like this? Okay, so here we have this news. So first of all, who is the source of the news? The witnesses. So some people in the occupied Donetsk, they inform about the movement of a big column of the military equipment and machinery and the military soldiers through the center of the city towards the border of Ukraine, like where the Ukrainian soldiers are. And yes, this is Radio Svoboda, which is one of the respectful media in Ukraine, and it says that it is informed by some people who live in Donetsk. Okay, so this is not official information, but this is what they say. The photograph is from the archive, so it's not that they photograph this. They say it started at about 10 p.m. Ukrainian time. This is, I believe, approximately the time when Putin, he signed the documents that he recognized Donetsk and Luhansk republics. So we were looking for our Ukrainian Council for Security in Ukraine to inform us what's going on. They informed that they will be working like 24/7 all the time, but there are no like big decisions made so far. They say that what do they say? So he just came to the journalists, the head of our Security Council of Ukraine. He came out to the journalists and he said that their meeting is still going on, that they will be working 24/7, and that the position of Ukraine regarding this decision of Russia to recognize the so-called self-proclaimed republics, that the president of Ukraine will tell what he thinks about it later. So Ukraine kind of is still deciding what to do. Interesting, yes. At the same time, we have already the reactions of the General Secretary of NATO. He said, Jens Stoltenberg, that he, how you call it? I'm sorry, I will from time to time check my, find some words in the vocabulary. Yeah, he condemned. Yeah, he condemned the decision of Russia to recognize the self-proclaimed republics. Who else did this? We already have the reaction of Germany. The head of the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Germany, she asked Russia to cancel its decision about recognition of independence of the self-proclaimed republics and to come back to the way of diplomatic and political decision of this conflict according to the Minsk agreements. Okay, if I put it like this, you will still see me, yes? And for me, it will be more useful. Yeah, so thank you. We have a comment that President of Estonia also already condemned it. Yes, France, Germany will say, we say not go unanswered. John, I don't have a dog. I have only a cat and 3 children, so it's enough, I think. Okay, guys, I will not be answering all of your questions, okay, because maybe there will be a lot of them. Okay, Tristan says the lamestream media is only trying to dramatize something that is nothing. Well, I wish it was the truth. Yes, believe me, I wish to believe that what I'm doing right now, even me as a YouTuber, that I'm just dramatizing, yeah, over exaggerating. I hope that, you know, in a week I will watch back this video and think, I was so nervous, I was so worried, I was so afraid. But guys, it looks like everything is really serious. Yeah, I still hope that there will be peace and diplomatic solutions, but right now this night is like super important because right now we are on the edge of something big and something really bad here in Ukraine. And thank you very much that you care. Thank you very much that you... My cat is nervous. I need to let him go. So thank you guys very much that you care, that you follow the news from Ukraine. Yeah, right now it is only in the news. Yes, it is only information, like somebody recognized, the others condemned, the others says we will impose sanctions. All that is yet on this level of diplomacy, and I really hope it will stay over there. But I cannot tell you like keep calm, don't worry. Yeah, we should worry about it, and our like informational response on what is going on is super important. Super important. So we are not over dramatizing what is happening. Yes, because 8 years ago when Russia invaded Ukraine for the first time and occupied Crimea and the eastern parts of Ukraine, we were not dramatizing too much. And what do we have? We have a big part of Ukraine, very big part of Ukraine right now that is occupied and under the Russian control, in fact. Yes, 8 years already. And looks like now they want to make another step deeper into Ukraine, which is not good. So we have to resist. We have to keep our country independent. Okay, so 99% nothing will happen and everything will be fine. This is what I'm reading right now. And the other people, like Chris says, get out. Chris from Scotland, right? Is it you, my friend? Why do you not want to move to another country? There is a madman in Moscow. Well, yeah, these days I was publishing some videos about like what's going on in Ukraine. Like we stay in Kiev, we stay in the capital of Ukraine, but we are not leaving. Yes, we still hope that everything will be all right, that there will not be any bombs here, you know, any attacks on Kiev. I really hope. But at the same time, I do understand that the possibility of attack of Putin on Kiev is really, really possible. It's really real. So we have our emergency backpack already packed. I hope it will not be needed, but we have it. And right now, the main thing is just not to go crazy and stay calm. Yeah, so as I say, my kids are sleeping right now. I'm here with you right now. And my husband, Serhiy, he is at work. He is a journalist. He works for the Ukrainian national TV station, which is called Suspilne. This is like Ukrainian BBC channel. And he basically had to be at home like 3 hours ago. 3.5, but he is still at work, and I don't know for how long he will stay over there, because you know the news are very super important right now this night. Yeah, so I decided that I can translate this news for you, to those of you who follow my YouTube channel. So I hope this is useful. Well, so what are the updates? Tonight, Putin, the president of Russia, he signed the documents to recognize Donetsk and Lugansk self-proclaimed so-called republics. He decided that they will be, that he will recognize them as independent countries, which is of course not appropriate for Ukraine at all, because they are part of the territory of Ukraine. But the good news is that Russia, kind of good news, is that Russia recognized those territories within, like Donetsk and Lugansk as independent within the territories that they already in fact control. So from one side, this is confrontation, because Putin said that these territories are independent, even though they belong to Ukraine and the whole world recognizes them as part of Ukraine. On the other side, he didn't say that all of Lugansk and Lugansk and Donetsk Oblast will be independent. So, like, they decided to recognize as independent states the parts of Lugansk and Donetsk Oblast that in fact they do already control. So on the ground, kind of for Ukraine, in terms of moving the front line, you know, where we have shootings between the two sides, nothing really changes. And it's like the ball is now on our side, on our field, on the field of Ukraine, and now we need to react somehow. So everybody is looking for the president of Ukraine to say something, to do something, and then we'll see what Putin says as a reaction. Yes, so we are just following the news. We want to see what's going on, because right now it's still very unstable and very, very uncertain. So will be the war, the peace. We'll see how it's going on. Yes, so I believe Igor Tiderian, are you with me still? Is this what you mean? That like it's nothing bad is not going to happen. That it is good that they recognized those republics in the factual borders of that they already control. So Stephen Fine says the Kremlin says Russian President Vladimir Putin is ordering forces to maintain peace in eastern Ukraine, but it is not immediately clear whether or when troops would enter the country. Yeah, that's the thing. So right now there are no official news that any basically Russian forces had entered Ukraine, but in fact they are already over there. So it's not a secret that the rebellions, the terrorists that control the Lugansk and Donetsk, those republics, they are sponsored, controlled absolutely by Moscow, that they have like a puppet government over there. And in fact, Russian troops are over there and Russian weapon is over there. But before, all that was kind of unofficially. So we'll see what's going to happen right now. Yet there are no official like movement of the Russian troops on these self-proclaimed republics. The only thing that we see is that the locals say that a big column of military machinery is moving in Donetsk towards the border front line with the territories that are controlled by Ukraine. And it started like 2.5 hours ago, and there are no more updates about the situation on the plates. They say in the column there were tanks and there were armored vehicles and there was the personnel, and then this movement was lasting for about 1 hour. As well, they say that in Donetsk there were in the evening some celebrations, that they were celebrating with music and fireworks the decision of Putin to proclaim these republics independent. I really feel very pity for people who live over there and who were manipulated so much by Russian media. Recently, like a few days ago, there were thousands of people who had to leave their homes in these territories, and they were kind of evacuated to big Russia, to the Russian territory, because of the risk of possible Ukrainian invasion. And that is so obvious, like that Russia is preparing the local population for attack from Ukraine, even though Ukraine is not going to attack anyone. So it's like they are making like a fake situation. Yes, they just prepare the media to say that, okay, and now the bomb from Ukraine is flying towards Donetsk and some people die, and now we will hit back and we will attack Ukraine. Like fake bomb from Ukraine, of course, as you can understand. So looks like they are just looking for a pretext to attack. Yes, to attack Ukraine. Okay, please share with us what news do you have. Russia brought nuclear bombs in Belarus, prepared to attack. This is the comment from Alien Thor. Well, Russia is a nuclear country. It has nuclear weapons, and it doesn't matter where this nuclear weapon is, in Belarus or in Russia. It's not a big difference, in fact. And this fact alone is already scaring people. You know, Ukraine, before the collapse of the Soviet Union, Ukrainian Soviet Republic was number 3 in the world in terms of the nuclear weapons. We had a big arsenal of the nuclear weapons because Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union as Ukrainian Soviet Republic. And a lot of those missiles and armory, it was situated in Ukraine. It was controlled by Moscow, but it was based in Ukraine. And Ukraine decided not to maintain all this nuclear shit and just to give it away, just to destroy it, but instead Ukraine asked for guarantees of its independence. And basically what we know as Budapest Agreement is the agreement in which in 1994 Russia, the United States of America and the United Kingdom, they said that they will guarantee the independence and the sovereignty of Ukraine within its borders. And yeah, ironically, Russia was one of those countries that promised to guarantee independence and of Ukrainian territory, and now they are the country that is planning to attack Ukraine, which is really sad. Okay, so looks like it calmed down. You know, there were like each minute were some news here, and now it's not that fast anymore. So BBC News already says that Putin orders troops into eastern Ukraine. This is what they say. Okay. So as you know, there are about 150,000 Russian soldiers amassed at the borders of Ukraine. They are on the Russian territory and they are already in Belarus, which is absolutely controlled by Russia. And basically the Belarusian border is like 150 kilometers away from Kiev, like directly, which is very close. Between Belarus and Kiev, there is the Chernobyl exclusion zone, where I used to work as a tour guide. And a few days ago, the exclusion zone was closed for tourists because officially for technical reasons, but it looks like they decided to close the exclusion zone because of a risk of, invasion of Russia through the northern part of Ukraine, yes, from Belarus through the exclusion zone to Kiev. There is like a direct road, which I used to use a lot when I was going to Chernobyl as a guide. And yeah, very convenient, you just drive. The last comment from Virgil Mitiev: Russian people should go and protest against this war. I absolutely share this opinion with you. And I really hope, I really think that this is going to happen. I really hope that Russian people, you see, I'm not saying that this is Russian attack. This is possible Putin's attack, because Russian people, they really don't have anything against Ukrainian people. There is no really hatred between these two peoples. This is what I believe. And I think that Russian people, they will have just to say to their president, like, come on, what are you doing? You have to stop it. So Russian people are number one who needs to stop Putin before he sends any troops to Ukraine and tries to attack Ukraine. And Ukrainian people will be the second. Of course, Ukrainian people and Ukrainian army, we will protect our borders, we will protect our country, we will protect our independence. As an independent state, we exist only for 30 years, which is not that much. But by the way, Russia is of the same age as independent Russian Federation. They are 30 years old too. Yeah, but Ukraine has centuries and centuries and centuries of history and culture behind it. And it's the centuries of history of its fight for independence. So it's not something that, appeared recently. That's a long story to tell. And if you ask me why I'm not emigrating, why I'm not leaving Ukraine, I know behind my back there are centuries, many generations of people who were fighting for this country, for independence of this country. And I simply cannot betray them. Yeah, of course, I don't want to die, I don't want to kill anyone, and I'm not sure if I can actively participate in this war and how can I do this, but for sure I will be doing something useful for the sake of this country. And maybe right now this is something that I'm doing right now. Well, I wish I were doing this better. I'm sorry that maybe it's not that informative as you hoped, okay, but I will try now. Okay, now it's official. It looks like now it is official. So this is the new times that we have in Ukrainian, and it says that Putin ordered officially to send the army into the so-called Lugansk, Donetsk People's Republics to maintain peace. So many wars in our history were done for the sake of peace. Yes, so the head of Kremlin, Vladimir Putin, in his orders to recognize independence of Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics, he ordered the Ministry of Defense of Russian Federation to guarantee that the Russian military men play their role to support peace on the territories of these republics. And these orders are already published on the official websites of the Russian Republic. So we have this order of the President of the Russian Republic about recognition of Donetsk. Here we are, of Donetsk People's Republics. Okay, here we have this document, and it should be already translated into English somewhere. Yeah, so this is number 4. Yes, number 4. It says that because the head of Donetsk People's Republics applied to the Ministry of Defense of Russian Federation. And he says that the armed forces of the Russian republics on the territory of Donetsk People's Republics will support peace. Yes, so the Russian forces will support peace in Donetsk because Donetsk Republic asked Russia for this. Yes, so you see, Putin is not himself. Yes, the local people just kind of asked him to help. Okay, now it's official, so Putin decided that now he has all the legal right to send his Russian troops now officially and demonstratively into the territory of Ukraine. Yeah, we remember that Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republics are still recognized in the world as the territory of Ukraine, and Russia and Putin basically is the only guy who decided to recognize that these republics are independent. Yes, and that they do not belong to Ukraine. Okay, so here we have kind of summary about the situation right now. Everything's about possible invasion. Okay, Zelensky should make a statement for Ukrainian people, but he haven't done it yet. So the president of Ukraine haven't reacted yet anyhow. So no official statements from Ukrainian president yet. So what they say? That Monday we have another week of, today's Monday, and we have another week of very serious situation between Ukraine and the world. Ukraine and the world are trying. I'm not that good in translation. When I'm nervous, it found out. Okay, so on this weekend, 2 Ukrainian militaries died on the front line. There are some provocations over there too. This is what the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine says. Russia and Belarus decided to prolong their military so-called training that they had to stop on the 12th of February, like on Sunday, but they decided to keep going. So we still have this army, the troops at the border of Ukraine. Okay, so here kind of long explanation. So this is the Ukrainian time. The Ukrainian time, yes, almost midnight. That was about that was 1 hour ago. The Secretary of the National Council of Security and Defense of Ukraine, he did not comment on the possible cancellation of Ukraine. That he didn't comment about the possibility of Ukraine to cancel and to refuse to accept the so-called Minsk agreement after Russia has recognized Donetsk and Lugansk republics. He said that the meeting of the Ukrainian Council of Security and Defense is still going on, and that in more details about the decision of Ukrainian authorities, our President Volodymyr Zelensky will give more details later. So far there are no reactions of the Ukrainian President of the Ukrainian Council. We have reaction of the representative of the Foreign Ministry of Ukraine, Oleksiy Makiev, but he is not the head of the ministry, he is one of the representatives. He said that this decision of Vladimir Putin is another act of aggression against Ukraine, and he asked the West not to make the Third World War happen. The decision of Putin is another act of aggression against Ukraine and our territorial integrity. And he said about this just in Twitter. 23:22, yeah, about 1 hour and 20 minutes ago. Yes. So the president of Russia, Putin, he ordered officially to send troops to Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republics for support of peace over there. Yeah, the head of Kremlin, Vladimir Putin, in his orders about recognition of independence of Donetsk and Luhansk republics, he ordered the Ministry of Defense of Russia to guarantee, yet to make it possible that the Russian troops, how to translate it correctly into English? Give me a minute, please. Very simple, to act. So Putin, he ordered his troops to act, yeah, to do anything to support peace in Lugansk and Donetsk self-proclaimed republics. 23:16, like hour and a half ago, President Zelensky said it turned like the Ukrainian Security Council said that Volodymyr Zelensky, our president, will make a statement for Ukrainians on this regard. Just before this, there was the news, there was another shooting at the border between Ukraine, the territories of Ukraine that are under control, and the territory that is under control of the separatists. And over there today, one Ukrainian soldier died and 5 others were injured. And as for the 8 p.m. of Monday, those separatists in Donbass, 59 times they started shooting at Ukrainian soldiers. And out of these 59 times, 48 times were happening with the arms that were forbidden by Minsk agreements. Okay, so here we have reaction of the president of the US. He said that he will forbid investigations and send any finances to Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republics, and that Biden, he will sign these documents soon. So about financial sanctions for Russia, and of course the world reaction about this decision of Putin is very negative. The world condemns this decision of Putin to recognize Lugansk and Donetsk Soviet republics. So we all understand that it's not only about Lugansk, Donetsk, and these poor people who live on this territory. So many thousands of people became already refugees when Russia invaded these territories for the first time, like unofficially. Yeah, they like supported separatists over there that proclaimed these republics as independent. And thousands of people, basically, they fled to the central Ukraine from over there, from the eastern Ukraine. I know at least 2 of my colleagues who work as tour guides in Chernobyl exclusion zone, who just had to leave their hometowns in Donetsk because of this situation. Yes, and now we have more thousands of people who were evacuated almost by force to Russia. Yes, which sounds really bad. Yes, and looks like Putin, he like openly he said that Ukraine does not deserve to be independent. So this is what we have. What this like news agency says at 9:30. In its speech, Putin he said that Ukraine does not deserve to be a country, a state. That corruption in Ukraine destroyed Ukrainian sovereignty, and that nationalists used this in 2014, and the West supported them. Okay, let me take a look what you are writing to me, if you do anything. Okay, guys, I see you have some kind of discussion over there, and this is really great. I see many words of support from you. Thank you very much for all of this support. Thank you that you care. Thank you that you pray for peace. Thank you very much, and I do so too. So I hope that Ukraine, of course, for sure, Ukraine will resist, but I hope that the Third World War will not happen, and diplomatically we will solve the problem. Okay, let's come back to the main page right now and see the updates. Are you kidding me? Our President Zelensky, he is still getting ready for the statement to Ukrainian people. Come on, everybody else already said something. You know, the president of France, the president of the US, like in Germany, the Prime Minister of Poland said that recognition of Lugansk Donetsk republics is equal to aggression against Ukraine. And the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, is still preparing his speech. Okay, so what do we know about this for the moment? So this is the news. So Zelensky talked to the Prime Minister of Great Britain, Boris Johnson, and he discussed with him aggression of Russia. And after, yeah, so here is, what is this? This is his Twitter of our President Zelensky. Oh, don't go away. Like this. Okay, so after the meeting of Security Council of Ukraine, I discussed the current situation with Boris Johnson. Right now, we are very fast preparing our statement to Ukrainian people. And after this, we have planned discussions with Erdogan and the President of European Commission, Charles Michel, and Recep Tayyip Erdogan from Turkey. Interesting. Why him? Okay. The fact is, I'm not very strong in Ukrainian politics. You know, I was always saying that Ukrainian politics is something that is not interesting for me. So before becoming a YouTuber and a tour guide, I was a foreign news correspondent, and I knew what was going on, like in London, more than what was going on in Kiev. And probably that was my big mistake, because you should know what's going on in your own country. So right now and after this I was on maternity leave with my children. After this I was in Chernobyl guiding people. Yes, and I was so far away from Ukrainian politics, like absolutely. And right now looks like the current situation, it brought many people closer to politics, because we are a big part of it. Yes, something is happening within our country and we cannot step aside. We are very much involved. Now here in Ukraine, we have a very famous, very popular Ukrainian phrase, like a Ukrainian proverb saying that Моя хата з краю, нічого не знаю, which means my home is in the end of the village. I know nothing. Like, it's not about me, but it's about me, in fact. So looks like right now we are all very much involved. Okay, coming back to the news. So looks like the president is still preparing his statement. Yes, so we know that he talked to the Prime Minister of Great Britain as well. What else? Macron, the President of France, he asks for the extra meeting of Security Council of the United Nations, and he wants some sanctions against Russia. Okay, we have reaction of Prime Minister of Poland, of Germany. We have reaction of the Great Britain as well too. So yes, UK reacted and of course condemned the decision of Putin to recognize those republics. Of course, Putin knew about all these reactions, like that they would condemn it. But in fact, what are they going to do? Yes, so far we have only words, but this is so far it is very good. Yes, it's better to have it to solve the problem by diplomatical means, but probably it's not very easy to do with such aggressive country like Russia. Yeah, but I still hope for diplomatic solution. It's very interesting to read your comments. So some of you say like nothing is going to happen, like it's just Elena is just dramatizing. The others, I know Chris is one of these people who supports me a lot and who worries about me like a lot. Thank you, Chris, that you care. And the other guys, yes, thank you too. Like, please park the car and get out of Kiev. Maybe I will do this. Yes, I don't say that I'm like a superhero. Maybe I will go away trying to save my life and my family. But so far, it's not needed, I think. So far, we can stay in Kiev and see what's going to happen. Yes, and really, I feel that I can resist, and I hope I will be brave enough to do this. And now it's interesting what people in Ukraine say about it. So what I'm going to do is to visit my Facebook page. Okay. So Roxolana Gera, my friend, she is a lawyer. So she says, they say in Kiev, Daddy, I'm trying. So she posted the photograph of herself training to shoot. Yeah, kind of. She says that she will resist. Okay, my heart belongs to you, Roxolana. What else? Olga Vasilevska-Smagluk. She was a journalist. Now she is basically the member of the parliament. She says, everybody is waiting for the statement of the president. It will come soon, but meanwhile, I will tell you what I see. Maybe some people it will be useful for someone. I think that there will not be full invasion, that we will be able to prevent it, that it will not happen. There will be more of intentions, about more of annexation, which will be happening slow. There will be attempts of little invasions, citing the president of US, Biden. Minsk agreements, obviously, gave us some time to relax, like a pause. but they would never lead to the real peaceful agreement. And what we can see from the statement of the president of the country aggressor and his articles in the press, the history of invasion into Ukraine or its parts, this history was written by the Russian authorities long time ago. Maybe in the end of 90s, not before. Yes, so like all what is happening was planned much time before. I really respect this person, Olga. She is a member of the parliament, but she was a very good journalist before it. Now she is a very good, basically, politician. And believe me, I'm saying this not about many politicians in Ukraine. Okay, so in fact, what she is saying, so what can we do? Well, she says that that in brief, before or after this should have happened, and a lot of people are in despair and doesn't know what to do. Friends, we already have 8 years of war, and we are living in this unfriendly environment. Israel is living like this since the start of its existence. And by the way, the fact that they like Russian money is not very good. Is not very good, but it's their choice. What can we do? Everybody should work well on his own place, and I support this statement 100%. Basically, this is what I'm trying to do right now as a YouTuber and as a mother. So my 3 kids are sleeping peacefully in their bed. No panic. I read them, a good night story, and tomorrow my Katya, my daughter, she will go to school. Taras, he will go to kindergarten. Darina will stay with me. She will get my breast milk for her, which is the best food for her. So I'm a good mother. I'm a good YouTuber. I stay connected with you. My husband is a good journalist. He keeps working. I hope he will come back home soon. But tomorrow he will be back to work again, because making the news is essential. So we are not living because we had work to do here. So what else she recommends to do? Take care of yourself. Good idea. Yes, and about your health. Yes, take care of the others who need it. Give more give more of help, be mercy, and believe in the best. Yes, if there are people who will be evacuated from some regions where the situation is really bad, to host them and help them, of course. So we need to learn together how to deal with this situation. We have to support each other by word and by act. Yes, and support our army, our boys and girls, our men and women that are right now on the front line. Budmo. Budma, this is the Ukrainian phrase, which means we usually basically say it budma when we drink some alcohol. We say budmo. But what it means let us be. Yes, so for Ukraine, this is essential, just to be. But just to be Ukraine, yes, we need to fight. So are they talking about the situation in schools? Sufyan, what do you mean, a situation in schools? So everything in Ukraine right now, it keeps working. Nothing has changed. Like today, my daughter was at school, my son was in the kindergarten, and tomorrow they will go back to do their business, to learn at school and kindergarten. Yes, so everything works, like the transport and schools and kindergartens and hospitals and shops and even entertaining centers. Everything works. Yeah, we have some limitations what to do in terms of COVID, like to enter like a nightclub or a restaurant, for example, you need to present a vaccination certificate or a test result that you do not have COVID. But in terms of the political situation, nothing has changed. Okay, I can see you say, are they talking in schools and kindergartens about the political situation? Are they talking to children? Yes, basically they do. And what they say, like Katya recently with her classmates, they were drawing a place where they feel safe. So she drew her home, and it is very good that she feels safe at home. Yes, so some discussions are going on. So my children, they know that we already have the war with Russia, and that it started 8 years ago. By the way, Katya is almost 8 years old, so it started when I was pregnant with Katya. So they know it all the time, that we have a very difficult situation with Russia. They know that it is the Russian authorities and Russian people, these are two different phenomena, that the war is more political, and that they know that Russian people, that there are good people in Russia, that not all of them are bad. So they do not hate everything Russian, and they do not hate Russians. But they know that in Russia, the authorities are very bad for the moment, and the Russian authorities attacked Ukraine, and they try to take our independence away. And this is really bad. And basically these days they are playing the games with these, some Lego toys, and they are playing like the war, like bombs are flying, now we are running into the bomb shelter, now we are hiding. So they know what is going on, and yes, teachers talk to them to help them to feel safe and keep living normal life. And yes, like this. Any news as to when the president will address the nation? So the only news that I have so far when the president will do this, no, not yet. So the president of Ukraine, not yet. And there are no news when exactly he is going to address Ukrainians. Obviously, right now, each word of the Ukrainian president will be important. Yes, so his speech should be very, very clear and very exact, and he should be very careful with his words, but not too careful, okay? Because we were so careful 8 years ago that we were not fighting like at all, and this is why a big part of Ukraine now in fact belongs to Russia, that if we stay that much careful again, it will be the very bad situation for Ukraine. Yeah, that means another piece of Ukraine will be given away like this. So what reaction do we have? We have reaction of the head of the foreign ministry of Ukraine. Here we are. Again, he published the news on Twitter. Okay, so Ukraine addressed to the UN, United Nations, with a demand to call the Security Council meeting because of this situation, because of the decision of Russia to recognize republics in the east of Ukraine. Okay, so they already made this statement made to the United Nations and already sent it. I think this statement was prepared long time before, and they just were waiting for this key moment to send the document to the United Nations. Okay, so we are looking for the news from the United Nations, and we will see how the other world leaders react, how Putin reacts, how our president of Ukraine reacts. Well, it looks like it will be the long story. Yes, it looks like, guys, you can go home, like go to bed and sleep. I don't know what time do you have in your country, because in Ukraine it is 1 a.m. and looks like there will be no show in Kiev. You will not see me rushing into the bomb shelter with my children. You will not see those bombs and fireworks in Kiev. You will not see me driving by car from Kiev somewhere to Dacha, to summer house, or to Lviv to the west, because we are running away. You will not see soldiers marching. That, of course, would be the show, a great historical event, but looks like it's not going to happen tonight. So we will have some more discussions tomorrow. Zelensky, our president of Ukraine, is still taking his time to react, what to say back to Putin. So in fact, what do we have? Yeah, Putin recognized those republics as independent. It's not a big surprise. Yes, we knew that it's going to happen, what's going to happen. Okay, the world leaders condemned this, and we knew they would, again, so nothing surprising. And Ukraine wants, and the world leaders want again to meet at the round table in the United Nations to talk, to discuss. So far, in fact, there are no troops anywhere officially on the Ukrainian territory. We have only like a message, news from Donetsk that there is some military men who were marching through the city center, but maybe this was just a parade over there and people kind of confused, or maybe that was the fake news. But of course it made people feel very much worried, and this is when I decided to go live, because I was expecting maybe some events to happen. Yeah, but looks like it all stays in this, in the media, only in the media more than on the place. Yes, I know that there are NATO troops that are getting ready on the western side, to the west from Ukraine. There are Russian troops that are getting ready to the eastern side from Ukraine, and we are the heartland. We are in the middle. Yeah, Ukraine, again, we are not surprised. It's our destiny or something. Yes, we in Ukraine, we are like the buffer zone between the west and the east. Even though we ourselves, like most of us, we think we belong to the west, to Europe. And looks like the battle between the west and the east, it keeps going on the Ukrainian territory. Ukraine was the main battlefield during the Second World War, and most of these bad events were happening here. And I just hope the Third World War will not be happening, and no battles will be taking place right now. I mean, in the 21st century, it's very stupid to have any kind of the war, because somebody wants to reconstruct his empire, and because somebody, and I mean Putin, wants to, to recreate his Soviet, Russian, whatever empire over there, and to make Ukraine a part of it. You see, without Ukraine, Russia cannot be an empire. Yeah, look at the map, at this huge country of Russia. Most of it is situated in the east, in Asia. Yeah, and a little part of it is like in the European part. So I understand that Russia wants Ukraine to be part of them. That makes Russia the real, European empire. And moreover, Kiev is the heart of the cradle of Slavs. Yes, and Ukrainians, Belarusians and Russians, all these three nations, they think that this is a place that where they are coming from. So maybe it hurts for Putin to see that the cradle of his historical heritage is today is abroad. But there are a lot of historical discussions around this question. Yes, I'm not fully prepared right now to discuss it with you, but maybe I should prepare a video. Let's go back to Facebook to see what my friends in Ukraine post. And this is the way how you know what people in Ukraine think about this big news tonight. So Tanya Kozyreva, she is a super journalist. She is an investigator. You see, she's a reporter in BuzzFeed News, and she is even nominated to Pulitzer Prize Well, this is what she says. All the time she was posting something like, pack emergency backpacks, be ready for the war. And tonight, when we are so close to it like never before, she says that we should basically relax. This is borscht, Ukrainian main food, with beetroot and other vegetables. This is bread with garlic called pampushki, and this is salo. Salo, this is fat part of pork, and this is one of the traditional national food of Ukraine. When you come to Ukraine, after this situation is over, you should taste this, yeah, borscht and salo in Ukraine. And of course, if you've been to Ukraine, I'm sure that you've tried it. At least borscht. Borscht, traditional borscht is made with pork too, but of course you can order vegetarian too. Okay, Miron Gordichuk, he says, I want to sleep. Where is the statement of my president to Ukrainians? Okay, Sergei Auslender, he is a journalist, my former colleague from Israel. Yeah, but he's reporting from Israel for Ukrainian, for Ukraine from Israel. Yeah, so he says, do you know how it feels when the real bombs are exploding? Yes, because he knows in Israel. And now he's asking, couldn't you just proclaim independence of those Donetsk and Lugansk republics without all of this nightmare? Fucking shit, he says. Without those idiotic playing in soldiers and tanks, because people are dying. Yes, so he is very, very, very much upset. Oh, okay. They are foreigners, so... Okay, Dmitro, step away. You should sing this song very happily. This is Ukrainian people's song, he says. It is called Putin Huilo. So it's not really people's song. It is... Huilo means, it's a very rude word, basically. It means dickhead. And this is how many people in Ukraine call the president of Russia, Putin Huilo. Putin is the dickhead. And we have the real song about it. So yeah, here we have the notes to play the song. My heart goes for you too. Well, this is Anya Manyukhina. She says everything is fine. Everything is fine. She's been to the cafe. She was having some cacao. She says everything is fine. Keep calm and support the armed forces of Ukraine. We always were fighting for our independence and our borders, and we will be doing this now. I have no friends who are running away from Ukraine, but I know some people that are learning how to give first medical aid. Yes, that are civilians that learn how to use the arms, the weapons, that go to the army, that help the army, and who become volunteers. Thank you. Yes, and such. So this is the center of Kiev. We have a building with the light colors of the Ukrainian flag. This is me. Okay, Nick Lisitsky, he's posting an article. Okay, so he says that there will not be a sudden invasion of Russia, shouldn't happen. Scott Cook, go on, son. So he is not Ukrainian. Dvoira, she is she's very much afraid. Oh my God, what is waiting for us? Well, oh my God, we are still waiting for the address of the Ukrainian president to the Ukrainian people. I have 150 people who stay with me, who stay with me at night, waiting for the Ukrainian president to say something, but there is nothing really. So we still wait for Zelensky to say something. Well, I hope that he will say at least that he condemns what's happening. So this is the last update here. The answer to Putin's decision. Zelensky, after talk with Johnson, said that he urgently prepares the address to Ukrainians. Urgently. Well, I mean, this is quite strange because I think they should have been prepared for this. Yeah, for the fact that Putin will recognize those republics. That was like obvious. And it's very interesting why there is no reaction yet. They are still deciding, so there is no unity in the authorities, or they are still consulting some world leaders about what to do, how to react. Well, my dear president, stay strong. I'm so sorry that I called you an idiot so many times. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to call my president an idiot. You know, it's so important for every person to have ability to call your president an idiot and not to be imprisoned for this. Yeah, to have the freedom of speech. Of course, I'm exaggerating about saying idiot. Yeah, criticizing the authorities, this ability, this right, it's so essential for people, because in Russia they cannot criticize Putin, and this is what you have over there. In Ukraine we can criticize Zelensky, but right now, I mean, come on, you have all of our support. Yeah, maybe right now you are the president of all Ukrainians, even of those people who were not voting for you. Yeah, we will support you. Just make a right decision, because if your decision will be wrong, you know what happened to Yanukovych, yes, to the other president of Ukraine who ran away to Russia because his decisions were against his own people and democracy in Ukraine. Ukrainians are very democratic. Okay, still waiting for Zelensky to say something. What BBC says, well, this is in English, you can read it yourself. And coming to my Facebook, I wonder what people say. Okay, Institute of Mass Information, they published a very good recommendations for journalists how to work in the war zone. Yes, so they are well prepared. They understand that many foreign journalists will be coming to Ukraine to make articles or news reports about the war here. Yes, and here we have the recommendations for foreign journalists, because Ukrainian journalists already are working in this situation as war correspondents in the east of Ukraine the last 8 years. Okay, here we go. Putin again. I planned to come Ukraine next week. Is it safe now? Well, it is safe now, but nobody knows if it will be safe next week. So I'm sorry, Bobby, you will not have a good answer. What else? What else they have? Some other foreigners. Okay, so this is my colleague, another Ukrainian journalist. He says, okay, so Russian troops are on the territory of Ukraine in the occupied territories of Donetsk and Luhansk, and the Kremlin today recognized them as independent countries, and Nicaragua already supported them. So what a recognition. So that was obvious that's going to happen. So the most difficult is right now is for people who live very close to the territories that are occupied. God, please save them. So she said that ahead of us we have very difficult times, that we really need emergency backpack to keep it ready, but we will withstand, support Ukrainian army. God save the Ukrainian army, and thanks to all our military men and women and our supporters for your help. So Anna posted a new photograph with in Ukrainian res. So today is, Dmitro says that today is the night of unity, as we can see on Facebook. One says, I hate him, and the other says, me too. Yeah. So looks like this is what united Ukrainians today. We all hate Putin. It's interesting because, you know, yeah, this is one of the features of Ukrainian nation. We have another proverb that where де булава, там багато гетьманів, which means where you have like this symbol of power in Ukraine, you have very many hetmans, very many people who want to be leaders. And there are always those fightings between potential leaders. And all of this, you know, when we have elections, they are so aggressive because so many people, like, we really like to quarrel, to discuss, to say, no, you're wrong, no, you're right. Yes, this kind of have your opinion, which is different. But looks like right now, Ukrainians are so united. They are more united like never before. And basically Putin did, in fact, even something good for Ukraine, because people are united right now a lot. Yeah, I see that you keep posting what to put into my backpack, water for 24 hours, easy to eat food, fire starters, and documents money. All that is ready to go. All that is basically behind this this wallpaper. It's all ready. I'm reading what you write me. Be safe, take care, I need to go to sleep. Good night. I will go to sleep soon too, I think. But I just want my president to say something. Okay, looks like there is some Adam may karma find you and repay you for your hurtful, cruel intent. Well, I don't want even to know what Adam wrote if he deserves such a thing. Okay, thank you for your feedback, guys. This is Svetlana Royce. She is a psychologist, basically, a very famous one here in Ukraine. She is very respectful, and I read all her books about how to take care of children. This is why they are so good, because I was reading her books. And she says, in Russian language, by the way, I'm writing right now to all of my friends and students and colleagues and those who trust me in Russia. You see, I'm writing the most of my messages, and right now I'm writing this in Russian language, and no one is suppressing me. And for a very long time, nobody is influencing on me regarding what I can say and what I can decide. One of the most serious and bad symptoms with which the psychotherapists work, this is избегание. I don't know how to translate. Избегание, avoidance. Yeah, I know this. Avoidance of information, of reality, of any acts, of reactions. Avoidance gets to all the spheres of your life, and it makes your will die. You cannot hide from information, from truth, and from choice all the time. Those of you who, like, here she is addressing to Russians, those of you who are watching this and doing nothing, you are not just You are not just accomplices, associates. Yes, you are becoming a part of this trauma. And it makes me scared to see what's going on. My country, 8 years, is living in the regime of getting credit for defense. 8 years of the wars, including the war with the news, with which Russians are fed. And what is happening right now is really scaring. But I still hope for the will and common sense of Russian people and bravery of those who make the smartest part of Russians. In Ukraine, long time ago, we stopped avoiding reality. We are acting. We are together. We are united before this danger, and we will cope with it. Slava Ukraini. Yeah, I already liked it. Slava Ukraini. This is the official motto of the Ukrainian army, and it was used for a long time by Ukrainians when we were fighting to make Ukrainian to form the Ukrainian state. Slava Ukraini, which means glory to Ukraine, and the answer should be Heroям Slava, which means glory to heroes. Here. This guy is posting some jokes about Russia. Okay. Looks like everybody went sleeping. And now, yeah, these are the older posts. Basically, my colleagues who are tour guides, they say congratulations. Congratulations with the tour guides day. Yes, so today I was supposed to celebrate my official holiday. So today in Ukraine there is a day of tour guides, and I am a tour guide. So far without tourists, so far, because all foreigners almost left Ukraine and no one wants to come right now here to Ukraine because they are afraid of this possible war that's going to happen, of the possible attack. So there are no tourists, yeah, but we still have tour guides who hope that tourists will come, foreigners will come, and we will work again. We will show you beautiful Kiev, we will show you beautiful Ukraine, and you will enjoy your time in Ukraine. So what we see, the last news is that Biden signed a document about sanctions. Okay, Joe Biden, the president of the US, signed sanctions. Well, not really. It's not really against Russia. So he just forbidden. So Americans cannot invest into the territory of these self-proclaimed republics, which is not big deal, basically. Okay, so far everything, but it's good. I mean, so far everything is fine. It's still very quiet in Kiev, very calm, no bombs are flying, and everybody are waiting for the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, to address the nation and to say something, but he keeps silence. Well, what do you think about this? What's going on? Let's read. Chris, we'll be fine. I admire your optimism, I really do, but your kids will have a better life if you are alive. I know that my kids will have better life if I am alive and if they are alive, of course. But, you know, my kids need a mother that is not afraid, and a father who is not afraid, and parents who can stand on their own land, on their own feet, and protect the country if a bad guy is coming, you know. We need to protect ourselves. We cannot just run away just in case, because somebody may attack and kill us. I mean, we are at home, and we have our army who will protect us, and we believe into our army, and we will help our army to protect us, and we will join our army if needed. For the sake of my children. I don't want them to be slaves. I want them to be strong. I want them to live in the independent and beautiful Ukraine. So it's important not just to be alive, it's very important to be free. By the way, Chris have sent me a water filtration system, and I want to say, Chris, thank you very much for this gift. I haven't received it yet, and I was going to write you a letter. By the way, the thing is, the water filtration system has arrived to the post office, UPS, but I need to visit them and pay some money for this delivery, because this process is called like the parcel is more expensive than 100 euros, so there are some custom duties to be paid. So I need to go over there to pay the custom duties, and after this I cannot do it online for some reason, and only after this, like, they will send it this water filtration system to my home. And I'm not sure when I'm going to do this, because this post office is situated in another part of Kiev, and just in case, I feel like somebody needs to stay near kids in this neighborhood, because my husband works in another neighborhood, and I will stay here. Yes, my kids will be in school in kindergarten, but they are like 5 minutes away. And in case, if needed, I really can grab them and take my car and drive somewhere, I don't know, or to go with them to the bomb shelter if needed. But I believe it will not be needed. But I think we will solve the problem with this water filtration system, because it is really cool that you have sent it. Really, thank you, and many thanks to all of these recommendations that you did for that you wrote in personal letters and messages and in the comments, how to prepare for the possible war. These advices are really good, and it's always good to be prepared, really. Yeah, even if the war doesn't happen, and I hope it will not, like, the attack will not happen. Yeah, thank you guys. I see a lot of words of support, and I simply cannot read all of them, and I'm still waiting for Zelensky to say something. I think it's like the whole world is waiting for the president of Ukraine to say something. Yeah, so Putin signed decrees recognizing separatist Ukraine regions. And he says that creating an independent Ukraine is madness. So he openly says that Ukraine does not deserve to be independent. And those of you guys who say that Putin will stop only over there in Lugansk, Donetsk regions and will not want more of Ukraine, guys, you are wrong, because he will not stop until he is stopped. And he will be stopped by Ukrainians, or I hope he will be stopped by his own people. Because what he is doing is madness, and Russian people should understand this and change the president. So it's not, Of course, it's a big Ukrainian problem, but it is a very big Russian problem too. So they should solve the problem. So we see some news from the American experts. They say that Russian troops could move into the Donbas region of Ukraine tonight. Yeah, as soon as Monday evening or Tuesday. So US is still seeing preparations for a broader potential invasion, including loading amphibious ships and equipment for airborne units. Yes, so Russian troops prepare for possible invasion. Well, maybe this is the part of the political game to put pressure on Ukraine, on the US, on the world's leaders. Or maybe not, because nobody knows what is in the mind of Putin indeed. Okay, now we have many experts, but we do not have really big news. And we still do not have statement from the president of Ukraine. Like this. Okay, it's 1:30 a.m. I am with you for the last 1 hour and a half, and I feel I'm useless right now, really. Like, I would stay with you for longer if it would be useful, but I'm like, I'm not giving you much of information, really. I can see that, like, BBC, CNN updates are the same as in the Ukrainian media. Yes, so if like 2 hours ago there were updates from Ukraine were faster, like news from Ukraine that were not translated, there were more of them than in the foreign media, English-speaking media. Right now I can see that like the big media are well updated. Yes, and Ukrainian media just went to sleeping or something, went to bed. Yeah, president is sleeping. I hope not. I'm not sleeping. I hope my kids are still sleeping. Dante Alighieri. Olena, I got a question, if you may see and answer, please. How can your nationals still remain calm? I mean, it is a very good thing, but what makes you feel calm? What can your nationals still remain calm? How can your... Well, how can we still calm and why I am still feel calm? The thing is that what you see right now, it's not new. The war with Russia started 8 years ago. It's not like the war with Russia started. Like, Russia invaded Ukraine 8 years ago. This happened in 2014, which means Ukrainians are living in a country under permanent threat of another Russian invasion. So the last 8 years we are living in this situation that the Russian invasion is possible. Yes, and Putin was never hiding the fact that he does not believe that that he thinks that Ukraine should not be an independent country, that it doesn't deserve to be independent, that Ukraine is just a part of big Russia, and Ukraine should come back to Russia, and that our authorities who are in power here, they are kind of misunderstanding, that they are nationalists, they are fascist, and they are very bad and corrupted, and it's not something that Ukrainian people really need, and coming back to big Russia is what Ukrainian people really need. So I'm not really citing him, but I'm saying the meaning of his words. So it's not a big surprise that he wants to invade Ukraine. He always wanted. But what we have right now is like the biggest escalation of the conflict. So there were military trainings before, but right now those 150,000 troops at the border of Ukraine is like the highest number of troops that we have. And right now we have kind of overreaction, a big reaction of media, and some people say that they are overreacting. Yes, because like they are so panicking, kind of panicking, and Ukrainians kind of keep calm. But this overreaction is a good reaction. This is very good. And Ukrainians say like, oh, finally you see what's going on. Finally you see that we are in trouble here in Ukraine. Finally you see that we have a crazy neighbor that can do whatever he wants because he has all the power in his hands. And at any day soon he can like try to take another part of Ukraine. This is why we have this like escalation, and this is why Ukrainians keep calm, simply because we had it long time before. And the conflict with Russia, it's very old. It is centuries years old conflict again. Yes, so in the times when there was the Russian Empire, there were independent Ukrainian formations that were fighting against Russian Empire, against Lithuanian and Poland, for Ukrainian independence. Yes. Then when the Soviet Union was formed, here was another war. Yes, and Ukrainians created for a very short period of time, but independent Ukrainian People's Republic. But then it was conquered by Russian Bolsheviks, and Ukraine was occupied by Soviet Russian authorities. Yes, and then the Soviet Union collapsed. So it's such a long story, yes, that we kind of got used to this. And on the other side, it's not like everybody keep calm. There are people who are panicking. There are people who already took their personal belongings and ran away. We had in the news that some Ukrainian oligarchs, they packed their bags and they flied away on their personal jets somewhere abroad to Europe or to some other countries. But you know, this is something that you cannot be proud of. So they do not post it on Facebook like I was scared and I ran away and I didn't stay side by side with my compatriots, with my people to protect my country. I just ran away. So this is something that you don't usually post on Facebook. This is why maybe, yes, you have an impression that everybody keeps calm. So there are people who are panicking. Yeah, but most of the people, yes, they're worried a lot. There is a lot of anxiety because we really don't know what is going to happen. But we just try to be strong and not to panic, and resist. So, and this is already something very good because maybe Putin wanted us to be scared, and this fear to paralyze us completely, but it's not happening. Yeah, there is no panic in Kiev. If you go to the local supermarket, everything like we have enough of toilet paper, enough of drinking water, enough of different foods on the shelves. So no panic in Ukraine. People kind of say we stay here. Yes, so come on, show us what you can. This is something very good, and I'm proud of this, that Ukrainians, they keep calm and they are ready to protect their homes. We are ready, and we are ready to protect our homes. This is why, Chris, I'm not leaving. Yes, thank you for your invitation to go to Scotland, but for now we stay in Ukraine. Can the Lviv region be attacked as well? Can it also be conquered? Why you say also can it be conquered? None of Ukrainian part can be conquered. Not only Lviv. Kiev cannot be conquered. Ukraine cannot be conquered. Ukraine will resist and will hit back and will protect its land. Yeah, but I know what you mean. The western part of Ukraine, it is like historically it was conquered more by Poland and Lithuania, like by the Western powers. So there was no Russification of the western part of Ukraine. This is why it is the most anti-Russian part of Ukraine will be the western part, because it was their people were not brainwashed much. So there was much less of Russian influence in the west of Ukraine than in the east. Yeah, the east of Ukraine basically was populated by ethnically Russian people in the Soviet times, especially big cities. So that was done. In fact, the eastern part of Ukraine even like was the part of Russian Empire. And in the eastern part of Ukraine, there were the laws, for example, in 19th century, that because of which the use of the Ukrainian language was forbidden completely. Yes. Meanwhile, in the western part of Ukraine, they could print newspapers in Ukrainian language. It was not forbidden. So in the West, they had much more freedom. So this is why it looks like Lviv will resist more. It will resist more than the East, it looks like. But I think that right now, Ukrainians are very much united. You know, the most pro-Russian regions are already taken under control of Putin. I mean, Crimea and the part of Donetsk and Lugansk. If you go to Kharkiv today, yeah, it is like it used to be the first capital of the Ukrainian Soviet Republic. Most of people speak Russian language over there. But you know what these people do right now? They buy guns in the shops, you know, and Kharkiv is very pro-Ukrainian, even if it speaks Russian. So maybe you've heard that Ukrainian authorities oppress Russian-speaking population. This is bullshit completely because most of my friends speak Russian. My father speaks Russian. I'm from the Russian-speaking region myself, which is in the south of Ukraine. And many of my colleagues in Chernobyl, they speak Russian, and it's absolutely fine. I can talk to them in Ukrainian, they talk to me in Russian language, and it's fine. And right now, the rest of Ukraine that we have, it's very pro-Ukrainian, even if it speaks Russian, and so on. I think Sergei came back from work finally, and I think Darina woke up. So wait a second. I will take her here. Сережа, вы дома? Okay, I thought my husband is at home, but looks like he's not. Maybe he's still at work. This is Darina. She woke up and probably she is hungry. Hello, Darina. Say hello to our followers. She is sweet, yes? Very sweet. Chris, I know she needs the mother who is alive. I need her alive too. We'll be fine. You know, in face of the real danger, if we see that it gets really, really serious, you know, we will protect ourselves. Or we will do something to protect our children, of course. That will be our top priority. No, you don't want to eat? You want to see them? You want to see the guys? Yes? Ah, hello. How are you? She's surprised. A lot of light. What's going on? Mommy, deep at night. She is sweet, yeah. Okay, so for the last time, I will take a look at this news feed to see what's going on. Okay. Do we have any updates? No, guys. So looks like the president of Ukraine is really sleeping or something. Yes. Putin said his word. So I'm looking at like the most trusted Ukrainian media. And I can see no more news here. And what about American media? What about CNN? Maybe they know something more than Ukrainian media. No. So only US thinks that Russian troops could move in just hours after Putin declared the two regions independent, but this is not exact. Like Putin moves in eastern Ukraine, opening salvo to possible large-scale invasion. Yes. Russian troops could move into the Donbas region as soon as Monday or Tuesday evening. Yes, I think I've read this before. So still no news from the Ukrainian president. Avoid CNN. Oh, I see. I can see that you are so traumatized by this like big media like CNN and BBC, that you trust more some YouTubers than this big media. This is something very interesting that is happening. Okay, just to remind you that I'm not a big political expert. Yes, so I'm just a mother of three. I'm just Ukrainian who is living here, and what I'm saying is not always true. So double check everything that I'm saying. Okay. Always double check the information in several sources and see who is saying what's like what is in the news. Now my cat is asking me to let him in. Oh, I can see so soon. Well, guys, I think I need to go to sleep now, and I think I will sleep peacefully. Yes, I will sleep peacefully. I will sleep peacefully tonight. So I think I will be able to do so, because I just need to be strong. I just need to be strong. If I don't sleep, I am not strong. Oh, Darina is so surprised to see all of this light instead of getting her food. I'm afraid she can lose her sleep now. Oh, my dear president, why do you keep silent? Why do you keep silent? Yes. So let's end this vlog with her smile. Yeah, before she starts crying, basically. Darina, say goodbye. Looking forward to seeing you soon, maybe with some more positive news than tonight. Yes, so our informational war continues. Yes, we will resist. We'll be fine. Thank you very much that you care. Thank you. Really, I can feel your support. Thank you very much for those of you who support me on Patreon. I'm sorry I'm not posting like a lot of feedback like on the Patreon website itself. But yeah, I'm doing this on YouTube, and I hope this is enough for you. Yes. So there is no any special information hidden from everybody on Patreon website. Yeah. Oh, we have a problem here. Yes. So I'm doing this for everybody. Good night. Stay safe. Stay strong, and stand with Ukraine. Okay. Yeah. Goodbye. Goodbye, guys. Thank you. How to turn it off?